Happy Tuesday, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Hopefully that covers wherever you are in this world. People, deluded, I'm back again. Unfortunately, there's a lot of talking around contracts, around this player, that player. Last time I checked, maybe there's signings that have been teed up and we're just waiting on announcements. But to me and you honest football fans, we haven't had any signings. That being said, we're still in the climate of Gyokeres and Sesko, and where we're going with that is Berta playing mind games and playing the interest off against each other. Are we going to get both strikers? If we get neither for whatever reason, where are we going to go? Nico Williams, for me, I give little to no time to Nico Williams, and what I mean by that is the man's a quality player, and I don't know you. I'm not working in the world of football, just a fan like you lot, but it appears you want to stay in Spain. Your first choice is Barcelona. I think you're more open to staying at Bilbao, then moving to a Bayern Munich or an Arsenal. Not saying we couldn't get him in theory, but we're essentially going for a player that don't want to listen. You know, we're still linked with Anthony Gordon. David Ornstein's dropped to some level of update, you know, respectfully to David Ornstein. Until I see shirts or new names, I'm pretty sure when we read it, we're not going to necessarily learn anything that we haven't seen for the best part of a month, people. At least we've been linked with a new name like Laporte. So, yeah, big up everyone tuned in. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Frank, big up yourself, man. You know what, Frank? Are you a mod? I know you're a Liverpool fan, but you're here all the time. Are you a mod? No, you're not. You are now, lad. With great power comes great responsibility, lad. So make sure you're patterning, man. But who better to govern than, you know, one of our own? We're a family over here. So, yeah, smash the like button. Big up the work from home gang. Riley, part of the furniture. He would be a mod, but he's always on Twitch, man. But big him up, man. Any talking points, all those sort of things, feel no sort of way about getting them in. Let's see exactly what David Ornstein has spoken about, people. The transfer deal sheet, latest on Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Real Madrid, and more. Now, I only care about Arsenal Football Club or players that would grab my attention. I'd say the craziest rumor I've seen, not even craziest, it just threw me by surprise. And Andy Robertson to Atletico Madrid. Feels like there's a lot of transitioning going on at Liverpool, people. But yeah, Gyokeres is a baller. I'm jealous, you know, Wirtz, Gyokeres, all these things. United have got Cunha. They're probably getting Buemo. Chelsea are going to go and get Malik Fofana, who I wanted from Lyon. To be fair, they got more players than sense. If there's one player I'm jealous of that Chelsea have, is that Astalvio, brother. But, you know, the market's not closed. We keep stum. But it would be nice to have our own, man. Big up Marcel as well, man. Our favorite up indeed, man. I saw Ornstein on the thumbnail and thought he was going to be on the channel once again. This mug DG got me again baited. They gave. To be fair, you would have seen. I've technically met Ornstein, but he ain't my brethren. But you know, one day you never know. One day, man. Good morning, love Arsenal. Hate the ops. Morning. But let's see exactly what's said. David Ornstein, one to watch. The summer transfer window is now fully open, and there are 2.5 months for deals to be done ahead of shutting on September 1st. See, Arsenal fans, tranquillo. September the 1st. It's June the 17th. Tranquillo. I'm just saying that bare time, so I remain calm, people. Among the most notable cases is the one involving Nico Williams, the winger who has been targeted by many leading clubs over a considerable period. But despite Premier League sides being among his admirers, Barcelona and Bayern Munich are emerging as more plausible destinations if the 22-year-old Spain international leaves Athletic Club. See, forget this youth, man. Forget this youth. I have no doubt that he would listen to Arsenal. We probably pitched an exciting project there. Spanish Dons, we're improving and all of that. He's not keen. Clearly, he's not keen on the Premier League. So it don't matter about his release clause. It doesn't matter about his wages. Just move on from this youth. Anyways, so yeah, that tells us that, boy, we're not in the... This stinks of Rafinha, if I'm honest with you. And what I mean by that is no two signings are the same. Ironically, both players ended up at Barcelona. But if you remember, we wanted Rafinha. Them times we weren't in the Champions League. Barcelona, the very man whose name you see there, David Ornstein, he said he wants to go Barcelona. He's keen on Chelsea because they're in the Champions League. And then it's us. All I care about is that we're able to pivot. Where we go from not being able to get a Nico Williams or Rodrigo, I don't know. But just make sure we've got a left winger, we got a striker, we got the depth. We've got the quality into the 11, man. So yeah, smash the like button. Mods, keep on the case, man. It's free. It helps the platform. We're flirting with 70k people. I forget that before the end of the year. I've got a question. Considering all the drama surrounding your attacking options, why don't you just cut both Sesko and Glock 9, put one out wide and ship out Jesus with Martinelli and or Trossard? Get both youth and experience while refreshing your front three. Riley, let me read that again because that's a lot to take in, and that's a why, and that's a multi-barrel question. I would love two strikers. I would love two strikers in theory. If we don't get hung up on the name Sesko and Gyokeres. Gyokeres is 27. He's right. I'm not saying he can't get better, doesn't need to improve, all of that kind of stuff. But to a degree, what you see is what you get. He's gone through highs in his career, lows. He's at that kind of level stage and he's ready to go. Then you've got Sesko, he can impact immediately, but he's more of a project striker. You got both chipping in. I'm on that, really. Where I disagree, and I know technically Gyokeres for Sweden, he's more out wide. I think Sesko can do that. I'm not on that. I can't lie. Man, them are strikers. Obviously, don't get it twisted. If there's injuries or there's a little game where we just have to do so, be a bit cute and clever, I'm not against that. But on a consistent basis, that's dead. If I'm honest with you, you're spending big money, play them in their positions. And if we got two strikers, I would still think we need a left winger. But I'd say to the club, to a degree, fair enough. But yeah, I'd rather just get a striker, get a winger, get both them strikers, let them fight it out. If I'm honest, I hear you, but realistically, I actually think you've got to keep Trossard and Martinelli. Money talks. If we're spending, we need to let players go. Trossard, the backdrop of the contract. But I do think some of our fans are naive. One, I think there's probably, let's say, about 6 players at Arsenal that obviously anyone could be sold, but they're under no circumstances. Everyone's agreed that these lot are calm. Off the top of my head, Lewis Skelly, Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice, William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Jurien Timber, maybe David Raya. So give or take 7. I'm not saying all the names I haven't said, people don't like them, they won't sell them, they do like them, etc. But it's all relative, if that makes sense, really. But I do think it's all fun and games saying sell Martinelli, he's a shadow of his former self. Sell Kai Havertz, he's on big wages. Get rid of Gabriel Jesus, he's on big wages and hasn't been delivering. But whether it's big wages, injuries, maybe not having a market, they're not going to go. And we're a bit hypocritical in the sense that we can't say we want depth. And then you're talking about bringing in 6 players and then selling 6 players. So it's a lot of movement. It's not necessarily progression. Again, as I said, money talks. If Trossard don't sign a new deal and he wants to leave or we want to make money, then fair play. But for me, if you sign that game-changing striker, if you sign that left winger, the Trossards, the Martinellis, the Kai Havertzes, Asterix, Mikel Merino, with what he's shown up front, they become squad players. And I don't mean that in a disingenuous way. There's 38 Premier League games and however many much in all comps. As you can see, sometimes, Saka might, first 10 games of the season, Saka might make the difference 10 times. The 11th game, he might be having a bad game, or Sesko or Gyokeres, they're not finding the back of the net. Then you might see, just to get 3 points in that isolated game, the Trossards, the Martinellis, the Kai Havertz, they might chip in. But yeah, it's a bit of a mess, man. And then it's all fun and games saying that, but then we need to deal with new contracts. We need to address other areas. Probably need a defender or 2 as well, if I'm brutally honest, man. As the big up Riley for the question, like and subscribe, make a difference today. I think we need 2 strikers, Arsenal. Verone, you're not alone. I would love it, but can I see us getting 2 strikers, a left winger, a central midfielder, a left back / centre back, or a versatile guy? I think for me, it would be a priority. What I'm about to say, it would be a priority, but I just think there's more pressing areas. You need to get that long-term Partey replacement or another central midfielder through the door, or 2, especially if Partey doesn't sign that new deal. Clearly, we need a forward. Clearly, we need a left winger. I assume we've got a second choice keeper with Kepa. We probably need defensive reinforcements. But if we just focus on the front line, yeah, I think a left winger is imperative this season. I think a striker is essential. That 10 position, whether it's to compete with Martin Odegaard, upgrade on Martin Odegaard, lift the burden on Martin Odegaard. I know we've got 15, 16-year-old Max Dowman. I know you've got Wanyeri coming through, but it would be nice. I don't think we're going to do that because on paper, I don't know if he stays. You've got Fabio Vieira. You do have Kai Havertz. We have seen Mikel Arteta completely remove that kind of role and go with a midfield of Merino, Rice, and Thomas Partey. So I don't know how much of a priority that is. I think if anything, indirectly, you will see someone that could compete in that kind of a market opportunity. Obviously, we didn't get Napan, but case study, if that makes sense. So yeah, let's big up the questions, man. Let's see what's going on in that regards, man. But despite Premier League sides being among his admirers, Barcelona and Bayern Munich are emerging as more plausible destinations if the 22-year-old Spain international leaves Athletic Club. Arsenal and Chelsea have somewhat cooled their pursuit, and that increases the chances of others in the frame stepping up their interest. Okay, that's music to my ears. Okay, cool. We like Nico Williams. It's not happening. Move on. Don't know where the surely it has to be it has to be like an emerging talent then, because you're not going to get Rafa Leao. Well, I don't know, but I don't really buy the Rafa Leao rumors. Rodrigo, you hope, but a lot of things have to fall into place for that. Nico Williams is a myth. Surely that means you need to find an emerging talent, or you need, I'm exaggerating, but you need to go and find a Mane when he was at Southampton, or Salah when he was at Rome or whatever before Liverpool, or you need to go for the Malik Fofanas, the Jamie Gittins, the Kareem Adeyemi's, those players that are kind of flirting with going to that level. I don't know, people. A release clause of around 60 million euros, which equates to 50 million quid, provides suitors with a clear and achievable transfer fee. But personal terms are not as straightforward. Williams already earns a high salary. We've heard rumors he's prepared to take a cut to make this Barca thing happen. And there's a lucrative proposal on the table for him to extend his time in Bilbao, which makes the overall package challenging from a cost perspective. Barcelona are pushing hard and carrying an appeal to Williams. I mean, it's Barcelona, especially given his close bond with Lamine Yamal, a teammate for Spain, plus Liverpool's reluctance to do business for Luis Diaz, initially their preferred candidate. So if Liverpool were to get rid of Diaz, maybe Nico Williams goes Bayern, or Chelsea or Arsenal have a chance, but that's neither here nor there. Barcelona already have Rafinha in this position, and it's also complicated for them to register new squad players due to their financial health. However, they're trying to make it happen. We've heard this for a while with Barcelona, man. They'll cook the books and make it happen, man. Gyokeres will flop in the Prem, mark my words, false image. Yes and no, because I feel I've seen enough with him without the ball, like his general play and all of that, to think it's not just a goals thing. And I do think, you sometimes you have to go through good and bad, but naturally you see, who better than Marcel to speak. You look at Darwin Núñez, it didn't really work for him. You look at the guys that have been prolific, or players that have come out of Portugal, specifically strikers, it's been a bit meaty. And I know there's a bit of gamesmanship between Gyokeres' camp, clubs probably interested in him, sporting, but it just appears in this day and age where the striker market is almost non-existent. Like, you're struggling for top quality strikers, or to list 10. You've got a 27-year-old with, it borders FIFA or video game stats. It appears that there's a reluctance, because you would have thought he would have been the first to move. I'm not sure, man. So there is that. Hope it isn't the case, though, but it is what it is. Bayern are believed to have conveyed an offer to the player, and a second may follow as German champions weigh up multiple options to strengthen in wide attacking areas. Florian Wirtz of Bayern Leverkusen was their top target, but he has opted for Liverpool, while it is probable that Bradley Barcola, another lights by Bayern, and myself and a couple of you will remain at PSG. Milan's Rafael and Mitoma from Brighton have also been linked. I mean, they might have to get involved, really and truly. I can't see us getting a Mitoma, if that makes sense, at 27, 28, and a Gyokeres at 27. Now, I think they're prime ages. You can still play for a while. We just don't operate like that. It's too much right now kind of stuff. There's not enough youth in the legs, if that makes sense, rightly or wrongly. That's just kind of how we operate, if I'm honest with you. Man bags over 50 goals and teams ain't slapping down the bread yet. Think about it. And I must admit, I've said that before, Marcel, that is something that you're like, oh, like, what's going on there? What's going on? Is his agent asking for too much peas? Is it a false image? Again, I believe he can bag goals, because he's shown he can do it in the Championship, do it in Portugal and that. But when you look at the statistics, they liken the level of defending in Portugal to League One level. And it does paint a mixed bag. And don't get it twisted, there are some fans that are a bit shameless. If I say everyone's moving like it's a no-brainer, anything other than Gyokeres is stupidity. Some of those fans, as soon as we bring Gyokeres, God forbid he flops, that's why you don't sign players from the Portuguese league. You know how football fans are. But for me, we have to make a choice. And I know you don't want to get things wrong, but I feel my club, we're too scared to get it wrong. And I'm not saying that isn't a good thing, but you look at Liverpool, Darwin Núñez, it didn't work out. Obviously, he's done a thing for them, but it didn't work out. Move on. They're still linked with strikers. They're buying other attackers. That's the kind of thinking, to a degree, I think we need to install at this football club. If Bayern advance their pursuit and get nearer the kind of numbers Williams might expect, he would be open to talking with their head coach, Vincent Kompany, regarding a transfer. So it does feel like he's more open to Bayern than I'm giving credit for in relation to Barca. But if there's, I don't know, equal offers, more or less the same finances, is he going to go with Barcelona, remain in Spain and play with all them Spanish youths and the club and Barcelona and all that, or is he going to go to Bayern? I think he stays in Spain, man. So I have to see. Although a concrete direction of travel is yet to emerge, dialogue continues between all parties. So this situation is absolutely one to watch. Why is there such an enduring interest in Nico Williams? Obviously, he's done the business at the Euros. He's obviously good. I don't really care about how much take-ons he's got. That's what a winger should be doing. Fair play. It's got nothing to do with Arsenal. Netherlands international Xavi Simons has told Leipzig he wishes to leave this summer. Would you not get involved in that? Simons has been at the German club since 2023, as we know. They spent 50 million on him. Fair enough. Leipzig have just suffered their worst season since being promoted in the Bundesliga in 2016, finishing 7th and failing to qualify for any European competition. Simmons, 22, has since decided he has reached the end of his development at the Red Bull Arena. And with only 2 years left on his contract, Leipzig broadly accept that this might be the right moment to part ways, but determined to resist offers below 70 million. Is he value for money for 70 million? Man United have inquired about Hugo Ekitike. I'm only keeping an eye on other strikers in case we don't get Gyokeres or Sesko. Galatasaray still want to keep Osimhen. Sources close to Diaz, who we was linked with yesterday, have said the player is in talks with Real Madrid about extending his contract. His current deal expires in the summer of 2027. Sources close to the 25-year-old attacking midfielder say that they and Real Madrid are yet to agree on a length of any extension to his contract. Chelsea have inquired about Fofana stated. Now, think, Colin, where Arsenal's concerned. It's been a quiet week on the incomings front for Arsenal. You reckon? They are yet to sign a striker, although the situation remains as it was. Sesko and Gyokeres are two players they are closely tracking. Gyokeres plays for Sporting, and their president, Federico Varandas, insisted he had no offers for the 27-year-old Sweden international. Reports in Portugal have claimed that Gyokeres could go on strike to force a move amid suggestions that the Lisbon club had previously agreed to let him leave if a set valuation was met. I want to make one thing clear. We are Sporting, have common sense. Damn, that was what Veranda said. We said two things at the start of the season, that we would not demand 100 million. And this is what I mean about there's conflicting rumours, and I get it. The game is the game. But yesterday we heard that they want his release clause. Previously we heard that they're willing to negotiate below that. Then we hear rumors about they've offered a gentleman's agreement. It weren't, it was, it wasn't, it weren't. We hear Arsenal have bidded not once, but twice. We've not offered at all. A lot of it, he's rejected Man United. He's not rejected Man United. Arsenal's the first choice. Then every now and again, he's linked with Chelsea, with Liverpool, with the Middle East, with Napoli, probably excluding Arsenal at this moment in time, or United, Juventus. There's a lot of whispers, and what's being reported and what's going on in the world of football, smash the like button, is completely different. If we didn't get Wirtz, I would have taken Simmons. He's a baller. Big up yourself, Kay. Appreciate you. And as the man Frank has said, like and subscribe. So it's a lot of things. How did he perform? 63 goals, 17 assists. Fantastic form. One of the best seasons in the history of Portuguese football. Even then, Sporting will not demand his release clause. But people should know that threats, blackmail, and insults will not work with me. I can guarantee one thing. Gyokeres won't leave here for 60 million euros plus 10 million euros in add-ons. He won't. And the game the agent is playing will only make the situation worse. As of now, we haven't had one offer for him. And Sane's gone Galatasaray. Napan's gone to Manchester City. Nonetheless, I can't imagine that impacts our plans too much, because Napan's probably a market opportunity. Sane was probably, maybe that was seen as a plan B if you can't get your Nico Williams, your Rodrigos, etc. I reckon you would have went for a left winger and brought Sane, but it is what it is. Centre forward is the priority for Arsenal, but adding a wide player is also on their to-do list to add another option beyond Martinelli, Leandro Trossard, Bukayo Saka, and Ethan Nwaneri. Talks were held with Leroy Sané, but with Arsenal looking to assess their options. The Athletic reported last week that a broad agreement has been reached between the 29-year-old German international winger and Galatasaray of Turkey. Sané's Bayern Munich contract expires at the end of the month. Napan is a young player Arsenal showed interest in January. We've had a difficult time trying to get young talents, him, Victor Rice, and Howson. But they, along with Aston Villa, became resigned to losing out on the 18-year-old. Manchester City have reached an agreement with Rosenberg for the player. Neither Sané nor Napan were priority targets for Arsenal this summer, with Real Madrid's Rodrigo 24th particular interest to fill that wide player slot. Rodrigo, bro, if you're not putting down the bread, it's a myth. And even that, Real Madrid have to make it abundantly clear. Real Madrid, Xabi Alonso have to say, the football you want, the stature you might want, you're not going to get that. I think Rodrigo is going to get a new lease of life under Xabi Alonso. What did you see Xabi Alonso say when he had his press conference at Real Madrid? If you're not prepared to run, you can't play for me. Now, I know it's a bit harsh to say Rodrigo's not a big name, but in comparison to the Mbappes, the Viniciuses, he's probably not as ego-driven. The one thing you can't say about Rodrigo is the man works his bloody socks off. Xabi Alonso will love him for that. You do need a big squad. And again, even if Xabi Alonso's selling him dreams and doesn't play him, it seems like all Rodrigo wants is a bit of encouragement. He don't really want to leave. I hope I'm wrong and he's got an Arsenal shirt, but I can't be dreaming of this. We can be as interested as we want. We've known that before. it wouldn't be an Athletic article if they didn't speak on Newcastle United's Anthony Gordon, who is going to cost a lot of money. Another 24-year-old is also of interest. The club have called their interest in Athletic club's Nico Williams. What position/players are they looking at? Another week has passed. Don't panic. We're not panicking, but can we get a move on? There's still plenty of time to sign players, and Arsenal are yet to sign a striker. It is the position they are prioritizing with interest in RB Leipzig, Sesko, and Gyokeres. How much time do they say the same things? On top of a new striker, Arsenal would like to strengthen their squad with a new wide player. Again, saying the same things. Rodrigo is of interest in that category, although a deal is unlikely to come cheap, and that could present a challenge. Domestically, Newcastle's Gordon is another wide player they admire. A central defender to support Gabriel Williams Saliba, Arteta's first choice pairing, is also a signing the Arsenal boss would be happy to make. Crystal Palace and England defender Mark Gurley is a player they like, but whether the 24-year-old would want to play second fiddle to Gabriel and Saliba could be an issue. Sell him dreams, man. You're better than Saliba, bro. You're better than Gabriel. You're better than Gabriel Magalhaes. Sell him that dream and then sign him, man. Should Thomas Partey leave when his contract expires at the end of the month, there may be scope to enter the market for a new midfielder. There's no maybe scope. You need to buy one, and all options should be on the table in that. You bring in Zubimendi as one centre midfielder if Partey stays, or you need two new ones, which Zubimendi would be one. So there's a lot of unanswered questions, really. You know, the only answer question is Magalhaes has signed a new deal and Berta's walked in. We don't know what's going on with Sesko, with Gyokeres. Well, we do know what's going on with Sane and Nico Williams, two alleged targets. Don't know. Beyond that, it's going to be an interesting summer, innit? As long as we deliver, man. Which player could be leaving? Arsenal are yet to announce a new contract for Partey, with the midfielder's existing deal expiring on June 30th. During the last week, Partey, who is in talks with the club over a fresh contract, gave an interview to TV3 Ghana in his home country and said it is not up to him to decide where he'll be playing next season. It is, but it isn't. That's a bit of mind games. I think the first thing is, where are you happy? Where do you feel at home? Then it's about what is your next objective? What do you want to achieve next? You still have to look at all of this. And at the end of the day, we all have a family that needs money. This is our mind. Get your paper, my boy. Get your paper. Bro. Remember when we was linked with this shoot as well? Flipping out. We was linked with this shoot. It's a bit weird seeing Smith Rowe and Reece Nelson in kits. That's not Arsenal. But yeah. Partey is alleged to have said, I'm an Arsenal fan. I can't decide anything. I just have to leave it to my agent and the club. I just want to enjoy football. Elsewhere, Reece Nelson, who spent last season on loan at Fulham, is subject to plenty of interest, with the West Londoners interested in securing his return to Craven Cottage if a deal can be agreed. For Arsenal, we get the money. For Nelson, you finally get some stability. So it is what it is in that regards, man. There you got this Sue Frinky guy. Bro, you're weird though, you know, because you like my content because you're here all the time, yeah? If you think we're talking about the same thing, piss off, mate. Like, you chat shit and then you comment. You want your 5 minutes of fame? Have it. Like, what do you want from me? The internet, there's people that have gone to the Olympics of learning from the internet. Go and do constructive things, mate. Yeah? Make sure you smash the like button. Anyways, it is what it is. I mean, no one don't care about Chelsea. What's this? Sesko, a player Chelsea have admired for 3 years, was removed from the wish list once they brought Liam Delap. So maybe they want a more experienced on. They have been linked with Kudus, as were we. I'd like Malik Fofana as well. So no, I don't care about this. This ain't nothing to do with Arsenal beyond now. Obviously, no, I don't care. I really don't care if it's nothing to do with Arsenal. We didn't get Napan. We have been linked with Cambiasso in the last 24 hours. I don't really buy it, but we have. And he's still linked with City. Anyone having Grealish at Arsenal? It's stupid, but I don't think we should get Grealish because I just think you're a good footballer. It's stupid, but those that get football know what I'm referring to. United are still talking with Mbuemo. We should be getting involved in that, man. We should be getting involved in everything apart from Garnacho. So nothing else is Arsenal related. Newcastle, they admire Kudus. We've been linked with Alanga as well, but it seems like was, if I'm honest with you. Apparently, Nico Williams' current situation may mirror Thierry Henry's situation in 06-07. This is the last time I cared about a player leaving Arsenal. Sorry, people, triggering. If viewed from a certain perspective, the French striker had agreed to join Barcelona, but chose to stay at Arsenal after facing them in the Champions League final. Convinced by Wenger and the feeling he owed the fans, Henry renewed his contract. Right, you can renew contracts and still leave. Crazy, I never knew that. But after an injury-plagued season prompted him to revisit the move, his advisor, Darren Dean, contacted Barcelona. And after negotiations with Serrano and Laporte, Arsenal accepted a €24 million offer down from their initial 35 million demand. So yeah, I mean, it could be reminiscent in that Barcelona's potential new player Nico Williams this summer. He kind of had to put the ball in Barcelona's court or get the ball moving. So yeah, Barcelona have reached an agreement in principle with Nico Williams on a contract until 2031 with a 12 million euro gross salary per season. I'm tired of reading this, but I'm just aware that some of you might not have seen all of this. Ben Jacobs on Gyokeres said Viktor Gyokeres prefers a move to the Premier League and would welcome an Arsenal bid, as reported by as Record Portugal reported. Arsenal are still deciding between Sesko and Gyokeres. Really? It can't be from a footballing perspective. It might be down to the finances, but it can't be from a footballing perspective because you've been scouting Sesko for about 3 years. We've been linked with Gyokeres for about 2. Bert is a fan of Gyokeres prior to his time here, so he's probably got his own scouting reports. It can't be anything to do with on the field, if that makes sense. So yeah, it is what it is. He'd be open to a move to Man United. There have been no formal rejections. The deal to date has also not been as advanced despite suggestions. United have not made any formal approach to Sporting. The Swedish striker is one of several striker options discussed with United. Gyokeres believes he'll still be allowed to leave Sporting for 70 million euros. Arsenal have always been one to watch, but it will depend on Berta now because he's also in ongoing talks for Sesko at the same time, with a bid for one of the 2 targets expected soon. When is it, man? Taking longer than Currygo. Anyways, Gyokeres is going to give priority to the Premier League despite having firm Saudi interest and a growing number of European suitors. Apparently, Gyokeres was offered to Real Madrid, and simultaneously, apparently Real Madrid want a striker. Forwards have been offered to Real Madrid, including Gyokeres. The club likes him, but ruled out because the potential cost, and they see him as a starting striker. I reckon he'd be being on the bench for them. I'm not going to read this because I have before, but allegedly Arsenal reportedly ready to end their pursuit of Benjamin Sesko if talks to sign him don't advance soon. We'll have to watch that. Leipzig are preparing for his departure by assessing new targets. They are making a significant effort to sign Brazilian Romulo, who plays for Super League's Gotepspi. Forgive me for mispronunciation. I assume that's Turkey. So are Leipzig trying to pattern up a replacement before they let him go? I don't know. Arsenal have also been linked with Laporte, the former Manchester City player now playing in the Saudi Pro League. Allegedly, we've made contact with El Nasser about a potential signing of the Spanish centre-back. He left in 2023. He's obviously securing the big bag over there. He's earning 25 million per season. You know he's not getting out of Arsenal. The Gunners are in the market for a centre-back this summer as there are doubts over some of their backups, including Jakub Kiwior. The Arsenal manager is a fan of Laporte, having worked with him at City under Pep. That's probably where the rumours come from. We clearly want defensive reinforcements. He probably wants to move back to Europe to, if he's not getting the Spain squad. And obviously the City links with Arteta. It's easy to link us with anyone, really and truly. Arsenal apparently are not the only club interested in Laporte. His former club Bilbao, Marseille, Inter Milan and Aston Villa have all contacted the player's entourage. Do we believe that? At 31, he's still in the peak for a centre-back. Fair. Anyone going for Vlahovic? Apparently he's pushing for a Man United move as talks open. You never know. We might have to circle back, people, really and truly. Vlahovic, boy, I'm not sure on him. I'm having Eze. When this loads, apparently Eze has attracted interest from Bayern Munich. Clearly, they want a winger like us. He's got a release clause of 68 million. What are we saying? Gyokeres / Sesko, Zubimendi, Eze? That a good summer? Let me know. I'm having him. And anyone that says, oh, he's 27, some of you want Gyokeres. Same age. Let's have some consistency. A player I would love as well. I probably said that a million times. Arsenal and Chelsea have both held talks with Joel Hatto about a summer deal. The player believes Arsenal to be the near perfect destination for his next step, but his camp are keen to keep the race open. How Rodrigo is used during the Club World Cup could be key to how the transfer develops. The player's father and his agent, Eric, is unwilling to enter into negotiations for now. Clearly, Real Madrid and staying at Real Madrid is the priority. Graham Bailey on the Napan stuff said, it's weird. Arsenal thought they got him. It was actually Aston Villa who came in strongest. Arsenal are a little bit shocked. Man City have ended up getting him. Expect the unexpected. They thought City were out of it and felt they had beaten them to it. Well, it is what it is, man. Go find the next shoot. Rodrigo is ready for an Arsenal move. I don't know. It's a nice sleeve, though. If I wasn't scared of needles, I'd get tats. Xabi Alonso has both been demanding and affectionate with Rodrigo. Apparently, sources say he has shown a positive attitude since returning to training. Well, it's a myth. Apparently, Marino Cortenga, who works for the Athletic, reports that Rodrigo ended the European season unhappy with his situation, as a now attracted interest from several Premier League clubs. Several is a key word. So, what Chelsea would throw their hat in the ring, Liverpool would, we would. I reckon Man United would. Yeah, ambitious Newcastle or something. Spurs, like, fam. He ain't trying. Big up Thomas Franklin. No one don't care about your vase. You know, big up the Europa League, but can you even pour alcohol in it? It's a vase. I'm hating because we didn't win no trophies. In fact, I'm lying. DG, you talking about like we didn't win the champs? Stop capping. You can't shame the shameless. Smash the like button. Apparently, sources say Rodrigo's attitude since returning to training has been positive. Sources say Alonso has been very attentive to him, showing him affection. So he's sweetening him up while also demanding a lot from the Brazilian. How the forward is used during the Club World Cup could be key to how the transfer window develops. Listen, Arsenal, keep all communication channels open for Rodrigo. Try and get that. Be attentive to how things develop. Go and find someone else. I don't know who that is. Go and find someone else because I don't want to hear we tried. I really don't want to hear we tried. Andrea Berta is using unusual tactic to sign Arsenal a new striker. What do you lot make of this? Apparently, well, we're going to have to paraphrase a bit. That being said, Mirror Sport have now shared an interesting insight into Berta's tactics behind the scenes this summer. The Italian has a glowing reputation for getting deals done in Europe, explaining why Berta signed so many strikers for Atletico Madrid. And according to the report, Berta is already deploying an unusual approach of keeping multiple targets on the go all at once. As we know, Berta is said to be under big pressure to sign the right striker for Arsenal, and the club are currently somewhat in the mix for all of Benjamin Sesko, Gyokeres, and Ollie Watkins, people. Berta is keeping all options alive, perhaps in a slight twist from Edu's tactics, who might have been more all in on one individual. Whilst it's just speculation, perhaps that explains why Arteta's squad wasn't boosted by the arrival of a striker last summer once Sesko rejected Arsenal. Arsenal might be using Viktor Gyokeres' interest to sign Sesko. Right now, Berta appears to be very clever playing Sesko and Gyokeres off of each other somewhat, or perhaps it's more accurate to describe it as Arsenal keeping both RB Leipzig and Sporting guessing. Either way, Sesko is itching to join Arsenal. He's aware the club are in talks with Gyokeres' camp too. Berta clearly has been down this road several times before, and it appears that Arsenal are in safe hands. Fans can probably rest assured that Arsenal won't be sanctioning late deals for past their best players like Neto and Raheem Sterling on deadline day this summer. The more time goes on, the more Edu's shortcomings at Arsenal are being exposed. Of course, Edu deserves credit for his hand in the Zubamendi move to Arsenal and Gabriel Magalhaes. And to be fair, I didn't rate Edu's thing, but if you're going to draw out Edu for everything that went left, whether that was messing around in the market, anything we're positive about and getting deals done, you have to give him credit as well. We got to be fair in this thing. But anyways, he did a lot of good foundation work there. But Berta has the opportunity to change the course of Arsenal's history this summer, and sources seem confident that he's leaving no stone unturned. What have you lot made of that comment? Fabio Vieira has spoken, people. He insists he's focusing on the Club World Cup with Porto ahead of sorting out his future this summer. He could end up staying, if I'm honest with you, just as depth, but I don't know if that's the right thing. He's 25 now. He's getting on a bit. Right now is not the ideal time to talk about these issues. I'm now representing FC Porto, and I'm fully focused on this competition with my teammates. That's what matters to me. The rest will come later. Do you not reckon the clubs that are participating at the Club World Cup, they got an advantage? Because I know players are doing work in their own time, but many people say no rest is a disadvantage. You know, Tuchel believes Arsenal and Liverpool not being in the Club World Cup could help them. And I agree with that logic. But what if the fact that you're still training, you're playing, you're in the nick of things, you're still in the groove for the clubs, all clubs at the Club World Cup? Surely that could be an advantage. I don't know. But yeah, he said he's focused on the competition. That is what matters to me. The rest will come. It's a tough sales flogging him in it, really and truly. So yeah, man, and there's still the backdrop of other rumors. We're ready to break the bank for Williams, which again, we can put down as much money as we want. If you don't want us, you don't want us. Gyokeres apparently is still confident of a move to the Premier League, despite the Juventus links. Sporting, as we see, conflicting rumors. They're jacking up the Gyokeres price. The players' camp continues to insist that Sporting assured him that they would sell him for 70 million euros this summer, while the club dispute ever having made such a promise. It's now being claimed that Sporting could even go as far as to only let Gyokeres leave if his 100 million euros release clause is triggered. So there's a lot of whispers and rumors. Sesko signing under threat. Arsenal are planning to leave the talks with RB Leipzig for Sesko should no agreement be struck in the near future. Arsenal are unwilling to wait all summer before finally securing their new striker. There are concerns that Leipzig are demanding too much for the Slovenian, and this is thought to have slowed down the progress of talks between the two clubs. Arsenal are also considering other options besides Sesko and Gyokeres, with Aston Villa hitman Ollie Watkins again being associated with the North London club. In an ideal world, you get your Sesko or Gyokeres and Ollie Watkins anyways, and you get a left winger, and you probably get a 10 as well. But I said ideal world. Saudi Arabian clubs have been linked with Rodrigo. You never know. The money is eye-watering. For 130 million bid for him could tempt anyone, but we all know he's probably not going to do that at this moment in time in his career, people. But yeah, apparently Chloe Kelly grants Arsenal period of exclusivity for permanent transfer talks. So at least one of our teams is making movements anyways, people. So yeah, rest assured things are happening, we hope. And one of our ladies has moved to Fiorentina. It's a slow news day, man. Lie to me, man. Say Lionel Messi, Neymar, Suarez all on the sign for us. What's this? Oh, that's Laporte. At least we've seen a new name. Juventus, as I said, are involved here, people. For wait, what? So predictable. Now we're linked. I thought that was about Gyokeres. Predictable. Swings and roundabouts. We were linked with Vlahovic in 2022. Predictable. Smash the like button. Mad predictable. And to be fair, owing to what we've previously liked him, what's going on with him, obviously at Juventus, and us having, and better yet, needing the ability to pivot if it goes left with Gyokeres and Sesko, it makes sense to have him on some list. I'm having Ollie Watkins before Vlahovic. Now, admittedly, there was a time I was keen on Vlahovic, but I'm not as convinced as I was. You can score goals, but I don't know for the rest. But according to Tutto Juventus, Arsenal have identified Juventus forward Vlahovic as another alternative in their striker search this summer. We're reportedly showing interest in the Serbian international, who's available for transfer this summer after struggling for regular minutes in Italy last season. He earns a lot of money at Juventus. They're probably going to get Kulo Omani and another striker, so his days are probably numbered. Arsenal expected to move for Vlahovic only if they fail to land their primary targets, with namely Sesko, Gyokeres, maybe even Ollie Watkins. But we do have to consider alternatives. And he has only 12 months remaining on his contract, and he's believed to be the highest paid player at Juventus. So they probably want to flog him as well. Apparently, we're close to finalizing the first two pieces of our summer business, with deals for Martin Zubimendi and Kepa at advanced stages. Can we hold shirts? Please? Please? I just want to go over this as well. And, you know, it's nice to shit on Man United, if I'm honest with you. So we'll go over that. What's this? Well, we've gone over that already, so close that. So, yeah, once again, Rodrigo's father and agent is ignoring interest from Arsenal ahead of Real Madrid's Club World Cup campaign. What's this? Man United apparently think Gyokeres wants to join Arsenal, according to Romano. Yes, look at Man United internally. They feel that the player has a priority for Arsenal, that the player prefers Arsenal, also because of Champions League football. And so Man United respect that. My understanding is that Gyokeres didn't say no to Man United. So Gyokeres didn't call Man United and say that I'm not coming to join. That's something that didn't happen, according to my information. But in the conversation, the feeling of Man United is that Gyokeres prefers Arsenal, so Man United will still be there. Damn, you really mean to tell me big, bad Man United? No one rejects them. They're Man United, as you know, they love to say. Timestamps, what should we say? 2 minutes to transfer chat. So yeah, that appears to be everything at this moment in time, people. I've got Clive on the platform at 1:30 as well. Big up Clive Palmer, legendary guys. We're trying to bring content through. It should be at 1:30. Stay with me, give or take. You know, we're reliant on him. He's got some things to do, but we should get that done. Vlahovic's dream club is Juventus. What happened to not scoring goals? Tell me. Sometimes dreams can turn into nightmares. Word to Beyonce. It can be a sweet dream or a beautiful nightmare. So it's on brand. You know what? I'm big up Beyonce because you finally, pardon my language, fucking off with all those concerts. Traffic has been mad. Go and take that somewhere else. DG thoughts on Leao. I like him. Think he's a bit too hot and cold though. I think it would be gas, shiny new toys, statement, all of these kind of things. But it's the consistency with Leao. Of course, technical level, Bobby Dazzler. But there's no point. If there's 10 games, there's no point you being the best player on the pitch in 2 games, being indifferent for 5 or 6. That's the thing I'm looking at with Leao. I thought Arsenal had bread. These men moving like some cheapskates pay the bread. Just because we got bread don't mean you have to spend. Marcel, be careful. Because if Florian Wirtz, just for you, because I like Liverpool, I like Florian Wirtz. But you see, because of you, If Florian Wirtz over 38 games doesn't get 20 million goals and 20 million assists, everything we're agenda in it. He can never have a bad touch, never have a bad game. He must turn up in the big games. Agendas, because I've seen you lot talk on players of our football club. Finally, Clive Palmer, you're really growing in stature. It's timing, man. Mr. Underrated, man. Big up Clive, man. So listen, I'm on the Berta thing. I don't talk too much. We're making things happen. Hey, don't diss Beyonce. Watch your mouth. She's meaty. She's meaty. Beyonce weren't even the best singer in Destiny's Child. She was a bully. Kelly Rowland settings. She's a good businessman, and I appreciate the work rate. All clubs are doing business. Why are Arsenal not doing business? I think we're doing things in the background, but at the same time, I'm with you, my brother. Like, man, need to start announcing stuff. It's all fun and games telling me Berta's tying up multiple deals. We're ready to move in other directions. Zubimendi's done, accounting this and that. Kepa, not that I'm gassed for Kepa. No, we ain't seen no shirts. We ain't seen Ornstein say medical and all these kind of things. I think we might get Gordon and Ollie Watkins. If you're Newcastle, you wanna keep all of them together. You want to keep all of those players together. I've got no basis to go off this, but owing to, let's be honest, the top six are PSR is to cripple the Aston Villas and all of them. And Newcastle. We've been the leaders of that. Personally, I don't think Arsenal, not that you have to and you can still get business done. I think Arsenal's boardroom and Newcastle's boardroom, they don't see eye to eye. So they're going to charge us even more of a premium. So yeah. You man can't chat to me. You paid 105 million for a runner in midfield. Big piece for a piano pusher. Declan Rice scored 2 free kicks against Real Madrid. Chat to me. Don't think I didn't see Florian Wirtz crumble against Ademola Lookman and them kind of man in the Europa League. Be easy. Be easy. Be easy. Make sure it works out. Declan Rice is bigger in the game than Wirtz. Do you think I haven't got my drafts ready? There's got to be a reason Bayern Munich turned away. There's got to be a reason Xabi Alonso saying Real Madrid forget about him. The games they gave. People like Marcel make me hate Liverpool. Buy Gyokeres and Sesko and loan Sesko to Leipzig for a season or 2. I hear that, but bring him in, man. The money required, we're not doing that, if I'm honest. We're definitely not going to do that. Who is a needle mover left winger? I don't think there's a needle mover in, like, it would have to. I know it wasn't the same, but, you know, obviously, Mane was a good player at Southampton. I don't know if Liverpool thought the trajectory would be like that. Salah on the right-hand side. I don't know who that would be. But surely it's got to be one of those now. And I'm not saying that I'm happy with that. But if you don't get Rodrigo, if you don't get Nico Williams, I don't even think Rafa Leao's a needle mover like that. By default, give or take, probably better than Martinelli and Trossard. But it don't gas me like that. We probably need to go for those kind of lesser known talents, if I'm honest with you. I don't know, man. It wouldn't surprise me if Gabriel Jesus gets fit and we run that. I know people don't want to hear it, but you get the point. Hit the like, smash the likes, big up the mods, man. Annual Vlahovic links. It wouldn't be Arsenal without linking us with Vlahovic. You know what? Daily Dusan videos might have to come back. I can't lie, you lot are boying me though. If you've hit the like button, appreciate you lot. But you lot are boying it. If you've hit the like button, appreciative. 30 more likes, we've got 100. Come on, man. They said Isaac is not available, but Liverpool is getting him. Gyokeres, the goal machine who wants Arsenal, is used as a smokescreen for an unproven pricey player. And now we're linked to Vlahovic, 0 standards. No, it's just Arsenal. You don't see City do nonsense PR. They just buy players. I'm here for that. And you know what? It is mind games, man, because let's be honest, like, I do think there is an element of Arsenal putting things out there, like, don't panic and getting these journalists to say we're on the case, because you got to remember, you got to think about the narrative. I do think it's a case of that. I just want people to sign Duns, man. Man, scared of tats. Bro, needles. I'm not scared of needles anymore, but I'm kind of shook. I can't sit there. Bro, needles. I've been there when people get tats and zzz, I can't do it. And you can't put a bumper sticker on the Ferrari. Look at this beautiful brown skin. You're going mad. Wake me up when we sign one of the strikers. I think everyone's tired of this now. Wake me up when it's all over. I know bare tunes, but yeah. Boy, September the 1st, innit? September the 1st. DG ever thought about being an agent? Not really. Be nice though. It'd be nice. Why not? But for me, I'd be a bit of a weird agent. Like, obviously, you would want, if I was an agent, you want to get a Trent, a Saka, a Jadon Sancho. You want to be all of them agents. But for me, I would love to find, and it's going to sound mad, but Harry Kane, Mikel Antonio. Who else could I say? Jamie Vardy. To a degree, Mohamed Salah, because it weren't easy for him. Them guys that might be household names, might be kicking Premier League ball now, but Giroud and Koscielny actually, and they've got a certain stature in the game, but it weren't a linear progress, if you get what I'm saying. Like they fell by the wayside, and not everyone was looking at them really and truly. I mean, I do have level 2 talent ID, so why not? You can only get level 3 if you work for a club. Why not? You know, life is funny. Why not go anywhere? Why? You got you? All right, sign me up. I'm on that. It's one time offer, 5%. By September the 1st, we're upping our rates to 10%. Why not, man? And you know what? With a YouTube channel, I could do the Romano thing shameless. If I became an agent, I might not even say a thing to you. Like, I might just have clients you don't know about and then just do the Romano thing and drive up the price. Because don't get it twisted. I don't think as much with Ornstein, but with Romano, do not get it twisted. You think agents are not going to him and saying, yo, I beg you, maybe not necessarily the how like Verts and all these guys, but the other, like, a man might just be moving to Turkey or something. Don't think agents aren't telling him drive up interest and things like that. In the same way, don't think clubs are not putting things out to the press. Don't think clubs are not doing that. Football's a dirty game. Clubs, agents, players, all of these lots' hands are dirty. All of them. Martinelli keeps getting picked by Brazil. I'm starting to hope Mikel changes tactics and stops inverting left backs to give whoever is our left winger more support. I've come to accept Martinelli. You're just a squad player. A part of me feels to see the best of Martinelli, you might have to leave, because I do think you're better when you're just on the transition. I think this football's too smart for you. I like less of that. My man said DG wakes up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night screaming Sesko Gyokeres. This guy's on bants. Pussy. Why are you guys looking for a new left back? Didn't Trossard get a new deal? Just run it back with him and Ricky Martinelli. Martinelli still slapped it on your block. Like, fam. Stop trying to bounce us. DG, would you gamble on Bacola? Yeah, I would, because if you're not going to get those game-changing left wingers, you might as well, if I'm honest. Bun Tesco. I'm not going to lie, don't shoot me. I more want Gyokeres, but I fuck with Sesko, man. I think Sesko could work, man. But I understand it. Bun Tesco, get me my goal machine, get me my centre forward. Gyokeres, this guy will become a Gunners legend. I hear it. And I'm at the point, I must admit, whether it's Ollie Watkins, Sesko, Gyokeres, this one, that one, bro, just sign me the striker, in it. We will talk about them at a later date. Just sign me a striker. What's going on with Partey as well? Why is there no deadline on his contract offer? We gave it to him ages ago. I think everything's on the table. I mean, as I have to assume Partey's leaving, because for all the talk and we hear you're happy here and the club are happy, on paper you're leaving, innit? Who knows? But to be fair, if I'm Partey, you do have to think financially. You know you're not gonna, if you were to F off to Saudi, you're gonna get the bag. You do have to think about finances. What length of contract are Arsenal gonna give me? Now, if you're Arsenal, you probably want to give him a 1 year with either an automatic clause if you play a certain amount of games of another year extension, or 1 year with an option. Clearly, I don't know if he wants to accept lesser payments. And then there also is the caveat in which he indirectly has said it, in that your family's comfortable in London, etc. You know, you got a wife and kids now. It's very different to, I don't know, if Lewis Skelly was going to go Real Madrid. Like, I'm sure he's got a girlfriend, you know, and if Skelly are right, you need to chat to him. That's your meal ticket out the hood. But I imagine he's just a normal lad by himself. It's easy for him to pick up himself and go live in Spain. If you've got kids and multiple kids, and one's at uni or going uni, this one's in secondary school, that one's in primary school, your wife's pregnant, it's very different. Because I do think with footballers, people forget this is lifestyle, especially for these guys that just go to the Middle East. It's easy for you because you're a footballer. Your wife's going to be at home by herself. She might not have friends. Have we already bidded for Gyokeres? I assume my personal opinion is no, because I ain't seen David Ornstein or Romano specifically say we have launched bids. That is very different from talks and things of that ilk, 1,000,000%. But you see rumors that we've bidded one bid, bidded twice, bidded not at all. It's all whispers. Watkins is probably the short banker. Potential Partey replacement. Go bring me that Sevilla Ogami guy. I do wish we got Caicedo in the January. We chased him though, man. Or Lavia. Some of you have been here following me that long. You lot know when we got Rice, I wanted Lavia a lot, man. Why does Real Madrid need 2 attacking fullbacks? They struggle defensively. They're not going to... Boy, Jabi Alonso is bad news for anyone that's not Real Madrid. He's going to get them playing 4 at the back, 3 at the back. He's going to... They need someone that is on that micromanagement system thing. The game's changed now. Zubamendi's the replacement. I hear that, fair enough, but then you're still short, because if everybody's fit, we still need... I said this last summer, we still need players. You need 2 centre midfielders. Yeah, you've got Marino, you've got Miles Lewis-Skelly, Wanyeri, Odegaard. I know people don't want to hear it, but Kai Havertz. I'm missing someone else out as well. People that can play in midfield. But actual guys that are going to play or options in that pivot, who really and truly have we got? We haven't seen Lewis Skelly exposed to too much opportunities there. So let's disregard him. On paper, even though on paper he's leaving, you've got Thomas Partey, Marino, Declan Rice, Kai Havertz. No, I might be missing out one and assume Zubimendi. If Partey leaves, I think you need another one. And if Partey stays, don't get it twisted, that next 12, maybe not so much this summer, but when September the 1st closes and you do what needs to be done for this season, you have to put on the board for next summer or January, if you can do it, central midfielder and someone that can play in that 10 role, dependent on the development of a Wanyeri, again, I hate to mention him because as exciting as he is, and I do think he's going to have a good future here. Man, need to remember he's a little kid, respectfully, Max Dowman. Lewis Skelly can play in midfield, you're right, but we've not been exposed to it. Jorginho's cut out as well. Yeah, he's over there at Flamengo. What about Mbeumo? Going Man United, innit? I'd love Mbeumo. I'm a big fan of Mbeumo, as some of you lot know, but it's going United, innit? Feels a bit like most players on holiday for a few weeks and not focused on what happened in next season right now. Potentially, they do owe it to themselves, but can you really not? Because if you're a footballer, there's a World Cup, you want stability, and even at our club, like, I know it's not the same, but if you're Fabio Vieira, if you're Reece Nelson, you want resolutions over your future. If you're Thomas Partey as well, if you're a Jarrell Hatter, who, moving to a club could boost or cost you your potential place in the World Cup squad. Maybe I'm exaggerating because I definitely think if Gurley signed, then his third choice at Arsenal, he's still going with England, but there's that one as well. But yeah, I would take a gamble on Bukola. Arsenal not sign a left winger, striker, attacker this summer. Transfer all blame for Arteta. When will Zubimendi be confirmed? We're led to believe July the 1st. Arsenal are the PR champions, 100%. And players just lap it up. I do think football fans, mainly Arsenal fans, not negatively and positively, man, are not independent thinkers. Like, just take things for gospel. And the thing is, anyone that knows about Project Mockingbird, you say enough things enough times, it starts making sense. People will laugh at this, but I take Diaz from Liverpool. 100% wouldn't happen, but it'd be a great signing. By default, I would, but it's like Liverpool fans seem incredibly frustrated. Like, I always see Liverpool fans that I follow on social media. They say he looks like a different player for Colombia. I would take him by default and the bar's on the floor, but I don't really want frustrating players. I kind of just want players that we could see they raise the level, especially in attacking positions. Vlahovic is a smokescreen. I don't even think he's a smokescreen. It's just nonsense. Gyokeres is coming, 240k per week, maybe Watkins. But I'd have no issue selling Gordon. 100 million is great money for him. But even that, I'm not on 100 million for Gordon. You know me, I fuck with Gordon. I think he's a quality player and whatnot, but not for me. I'd be happy with Gordon. Gordon, Sakurai have a flank. But for like Foxy, like, with the Newcastle fans, I think personally I overrate Gordon, because it seems like you lot say he's a good player and whatnot, but you lot are quite critical, and you kind of like, you don't see the Gordon that typically shows up against Arsenal on a regular basis. Dilly-dallying about in the transfer window, literally waiting for Gyokeres or Sesko to get nicked so we can go for shitters. Damn. DG, Asensio is the type of signing we should have went for, maybe in January. Maybe it's Cara, Rodrigo, Mbappe, Vinny, then them man are the only needle movers. Then we just got to be cute and clever with the scouting then. Big up Granit Xhaka for joining AC Milan, my guy. I'd actually take Vlahovic if we don't get Gyokeres and Sesko. I would even add Darwin Núñez as a wide attacker. Darkness. I have a very bad feeling about this window, man. We're definitely going to get some bums. They're going to have to hold it. Whatever they have to say, they're going to have to hold it. Whatever, to a degree better, but you are but I'm not going to say your job's on the line. I don't necessarily believe that, but you need to get over the line. I wish we had Cherky. Gibbs White, probably too expensive. 0 bid for Watkins. Zero. I'm reading two things at once. 0 bid for Gyokeres. Make it make sense, bruv. These owners don't want trophies. I bought my shares not to win trophies. Stan Kroenke 2016. They see Arteta as an asset for that top 4 money. We're finished. Get Sesko or Havertz out. They take so many wages and we're getting another striker. Havertz ain't going anywhere this summer. Jesus definitely ain't going anywhere this summer. Not confident Arsenal would have to offer 250k to 350k a week for players like Rodrigo, Leao, Williams, Isaac, or Osimhen. If you want level raisers or star players, you have to pay them adequately, innit? Big up Jorginho for getting an assist on his debut, man. Smash the likes if you haven't. So what you're saying is your boy Carlo is outdated and couldn't adapt to the system thing. Mad draw out. He couldn't. He's definitely a better tactician than people give him credit for, but they need that new age football nerd stuff is what football's about now. Like they needed fresh ideas. Gordon's been a good good signing for us. Price has doubled, a long contract, but I don't see too many levels in his game. A lot of talent in that left wing position, so Gordon can be upgraded. See, that's what I mean. It's like I think Newcastle fans rate Gordon, but I don't think you lot rate Gordon as much as I might be. Fair play. I'm good, King, man. Hope you're well and safe. I don't give anything to the Gordon links. You never know. Stranger things have happened. But even when Gordon is name dropped, we just see the same things. Anthony Gordon is highly sought after at Arsenal. That's it. It don't go beyond that. Trying to see if there's anything on Twitter Arsenal related. Nah. If you're a United fan, you've extended the contract of Tom Heaton. No, Diaz. I hear it. They need to shock us, man. They need to shock us. Let me see if there's anything new Arsenal related. Happy birthday to Timber for what it's worth. But other than that, it's sour grapes, really. There ain't nothing else going on in this day and age, man. So we're just going to have to wait, man. What happened to the 35 million bid for Antonio Nusa in the update, DJ? It just seems like Chinese whispers, man. As they would say in primary school. It just seems like whispers. Everyone's just adding rumors to it. I've been telling people Lookman has been underlooked. I like Lookman. I take a chance on Lookman. But we never see his name drop, man. There's only a couple of players I take real stock in when we're linked with players. We're not going to get him, but Nico Williams, Anthony Gordon. Not going to get him, but Mbuemo. Obviously, Sesko and Gyokeres, because these are the guys the credible dons are talking about. Instead of Sesko, Gyokeres, Rodrigo, dramas, sagas. What do you mean? Bro, Berta doing the business, big style, making it happen. I hope so. And I want to believe that, but I look left, I look right. Has anyone been signed? And it is a slow news day. Now, Chelsea and City could earn up to 500 mil for winning the Club World Cup. That's crazy. What do I think about the Club World Cup? I think it's meaty, pre-season vibes. I think greed, because you look how empty it looks. I think they need to make the tickets more affordable. I think it could be a lot better. I think the clubs, I understand why the big clubs or every club is taking it seriously because of the prize money, as someone alluded it to. Other than that, it's just an expanded chance to make money. And if anything, I just feel sorry for player welfare because there's no rest for players. And yeah, people can do that. They earn a lot of money to get on with it thing. But come on, really? Is that a real good way to go about things? 9 more likes, people. And we hit 100. Obi Martin scored so many goals, we should have kept him. He wanted to go, innit? And he's made his debut for Man United. I don't know what the future holds for him at Man United. I hope he breaks through because he's Hale End and whatnot. But if United sell him at a profit, great. If he becomes part of the squad, great. But United are probably going to sign the striker. This is something that goes against half of these young players aspiring to make something of themselves. But already looking through it. Allow him, man. He just walks in through the door, mate. Allow him, man. He just signed. Billions in prize money, crazy. So I can't, especially the foreign clubs. So off the top of my head, the Benficas, the Real Madrids, you're not going to get opportunities bar the Champions League to make bank like that. Empty seats could never be us. But they said Chelsea had the streets. Just. You think Kroenke could go out like that in his own homeland? Arsenal in America and it's not packed out. United the same. Crazy. Todd Burley ain't got the juice. Chelsea ain't got the juice, mate. But I'm like that with every player. For the right price, they can go. Even the standout players can be replaced. Look at PSG this season. You say that, you ain't trying to let Isaac go. Do you wish Arsenal were playing in it? You got to win some fucking European trophies to be in there, don't you, lad? Yeah, why not? There'd be watch-alongs and whatnot. Not all games are empty, and there have been some good games. Boca versus Benfica yesterday was lit. One ticket for Madrid and El Hilal is $80. See what I'm saying? DG, check on your homie D. He was ready to swing air hooks at Berta. Big up Justy. Make sure you're following Fabs on TV. He's on to Berta. On to him. Oh, mate. Listen, Berta's going to prove some people wrong, man. But Arsenal, get the signings in, mate. Just because I'm conscious of time, people, I should be back at around 1:30-esque with Clive, give or take, people. It's all set up. You know, we just... ironing out some things, and it's a chance for me to shut up and wrap up football things with him and everything Arsenal. So yeah, it's a slow news day, but nonetheless, you lot have supported the thing. So yeah, smash the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace.